My God, I'm gonna fucking come.
Oh, it's the kid getting words. Podcast don't last, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. How are we all today? I hope we're all well. Ripping into our Tuesdays, just having the best day we possibly can. My lord, it's all happening around here today. It is school holidays, so I've got both boys home. They've actually just popped up to one of their neighbourhood friends' houses to see if they can hang out for about an hour or so while I lay down this sick beat. So chances are they're going to be back in about 5 minutes, and I'm going to have to pause the podcast, decipher something with them, like, I don't know, try and work out some sort of project they can do while I record this bad boy. But just thought I'd let you guys know off the bat. And also, fucking come to... That was aggressive. Sorry, guys. I come to set my camera up, my studio tripod. Look, it's been on its last legs literally for probably 4 months now, and put the camera on the tripod this morning and the leg just completely snapped. So luckily I got the backup tripod. I'm using the tripod that I usually take to my stand-up shows. So now that's just going to have to double as a studio/show tripod. But anyway, what the fuck was that ramble? We haven't even dug into our opening clip yet. So let's hit play on this bad boy and see what he's all on about.
My God, I'm gonna fucking come.
Wow. We only spoke about Joel Turner last week. Joel Turner and the Modern Day Poets, people that revolutionised beatboxing here in Australia. And that's just some sort of new genre that's been unlocked, like Pornhub cross beatboxing crossover, like something like that, you know what I mean? But Moanboxing. I don't know. I can get into it. Also, on top of that, just the foggy, like Nokia 2006 phone quality, like camera quality there, unreal. But yeah, I suppose this is what happens when horny meets unemployment. So it's only a matter of time until I'm recording videos like this, guys. So stay tuned for that exclusive content. And before we do move on with some other shit, let's crack our delicious can of Celsius, because boy, do I need it today. Oh yeah, that was a good crack. What do we got today? Mango lemonade. My lord. I enjoyed myself a bit of mango lemonade. So let's have a little bit of a sip. All right. I mentioned the boys are they're up at one of their friends' house, one of the neighbourhood youth gang members. I've spoken about them countless times before. And before I do talk about these kids, I just want to paint the picture. This isn't the kind of youth group that you would drive past and like grab your wallet and shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're not the scary kind. They're not the cool kind, if you will. They've all got a touch of the tism. Let's just say that. Respectfully, okay? Respectfully, if any of their parents do ever stumble across this episode. But they're all lovely kids and things like that. But just some of the activities and stuff, I just look at them doing it and I'm just like, wow. Me and my mates when we were kids, we would never be caught doing any of that shit. Like last week, they were out in the front yard and I've got a couple of like tools and shit all scattered around from where I've been doing the work out the front. So every now and then they'll start just doing random shit like smashing stuff with hammers, or like one of their favorite tools is the handsaw, okay? I fucking hate the handsaw. Like, it was the biggest stitch up when I started my trade and I'd have to cut shit with a handsaw, and then I got introduced to the jigsaw and I'm like, why does the handsaw even exist anymore? I do not see any purpose for a handsaw that any other saw can't do that can do. You know what I mean? Like, there is like 20 different types of saw that would make the handsaw obsolete, but for whatever reason, you go to Bunnings and there's still like 36 different styles of handsaw still available. So shoot me a message if you know why the fuck the handsaw still exists. Anyway, that doesn't fucking matter. they're out the front the other day, and I've made it pretty public knowledge in the past that we live, like we've got neighbours on one side, and then on the other side our neighbour is like this council lot thing. It's basically like this giant just fucking water thing. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, so between us and the council lot is these big bushy trees, and they get overrun just so quickly, and the council doesn't maintain them. So probably once a year I get out there with a chainsaw and I just trim them all back and shit like that. And last week the boys go, oh, can we cut all the tree branches? And I'm like, sure, saves me a job. Like, they're well and truly overdue. So there's just like 6 kids in the front yard just hacking at these branches with hand saws. And I'm like, it's only a matter of time before one of these kids cuts their finger off with a handsaw. That could possibly be the only silver lining of a handsaw. I would that'd be way worse, cutting your finger off with a handsaw. What am I even thinking? At least with like a battery powered or fucking electric saw, it's gone in the matter of seconds. Whereas a handsaw, I feel like you'd really have to hack at it and be like, oh, I'm really making a job of this. But anyway, these kids are out there, they're cutting down all these branches, and they're just being so happy and over the top about it. Like, it was almost like they're on some sort of workplace retreat, just the amount of excitement that they were bouncing off each other. And all of a sudden, they get all the branches off that they wanted to. And one of the older kids, they organically formed a circle. Let's just say that. They organically formed a circle. One of the older kids puts his hand in the middle and he goes, all right, on the count of 3, team. And they did it. And I just witnessed it out of our lounge room window, up there with probably the top 5 gayest things I've ever seen in my life. It was actually embarrassing. I was like, boys, do not do that. You're trying to give the illusion that you run these streets around here, and then you go and do stuff like that. Absolutely embarrassing. But there's been a couple of new recruits to the gang as well, a couple of older kids, okay? These kids are around 13, 14, and as soon as they became full-time members of the group, Nikita and I we weren't too keen on it, let's just say that, for obvious reasons. We don't really want our 9-year-old and 5-year-old hanging out with 13 and 14-year-old boys. I know what I was up to when I was 13 and 14. I don't think I have to paint the picture. Anyway, these kids actually seem to have their heads screwed on. Like, they're so over-the-top polite, just seem to like be so good with Parker and shit like that, like making him feel included and blah, blah, blah. So Nikita and I let our guard down a little bit until Saturday, because these 2 older kids come and knock on the door. Nikita and I walk to the door as if to say, oh, great, Westy's fallen off his bike, or this is going to be bad news. And the older kids go, oh, we were just wondering if Weston might be able to ride to the corner shop with us. Now, this is a huge moment for us, okay? Because it's taken us like baby step after baby step just to let him like do laps of the block and things like that. And for those that don't know, the corner shop is probably, how long would it be? I reckon it'd probably be somewhere in the range of 2 to 3 kilometer ride, okay? So it's a fair distance away. And this is on a Saturday afternoon, peak predator time. And they've gone, look, we both have phones. We'll give you our numbers. We'll make sure Westy's safe. We won't go too fast. We'll stick with him. They're saying all the things that tick the boxes, all the things you want to hear. And we just look at Westy and he's like, please just give me one chance. And we were like, oh, God damn it. So we buckled and they go, oh, this made me laugh so hard. So they go, oh, can we get your number to Nikita? And I've just looked at her and she's like, gives them her number. And then they've like ridden away. I'm like, you're a fucking creep, just giving your number out to 13-year-old boys. But yeah, then it was so good. Like the whole ride, they were calling Nikita, touch and base, just going, oh, we're here now. We're here. We just got to the shop. Oh, we're doing this. We're doing that. And then they call and they're like, oh, just letting you know we're leaving the shop. So we're like, okay. We start timing it out roughly. And we're like, it's about 15 minutes. And we're like, oh, they should be getting pretty close, I reckon. So we're like peeking out the window and stuff. And then one of them calls again and we're just like, oh my God, it's happened. Westy's fallen off and hurt himself. Westy's been abducted, just something. And one of the older kids just goes, hey, I'm just calling you to let you know that one of our chains just keeps falling off. We can't make it home. We keep having to pull up like every couple of meters, put the chain back on. And we were like, oh, thank God. So we're like, do you need us to come pick you up or like give you a hand? They're like, no, we're all good. We just keep touching base to make sure that Westy's still allowed out again. So just giving performance reviews mid-ride, you know what I mean? But anyway, as I was speaking that story out, I'm like, why is this even on my run sheet this week? I don't think anything really exciting happened other than me just like thinking that letting my son ride to the corner shop was like a big milestone moment in my life. So yeah, I don't know why I brought that to the table. Anyway, let's get on to some funner news. I had my follow-up appointment for my knee this week, just with my like general GP, just to get the MRI referral and a couple of other bits and pieces that the hospital wanted me to get. Just going to have a quick sip. And I've been pretty vocal lately as to how me and my GP don't really get along, okay? He's a bit of an old head. He's a bit of a, I don't know how else to say it other than we just don't really see eye to eye. So I was on the fucking doctor's website and my normal GP was booked out for like a week. And obviously I wanted to get onto this pretty quickly. So I saw this like younger looking doctor there and I was like, you know what? Let's just give him a crack. And he had an appointment. Like, I think this was on the Monday and he had an appointment on the Tuesday afternoon. So I was like, let's just give him a shot. How much worse can he be? And I get there. He calls me into the room and straight away he just starts like, I don't know if it was because we were similar ages or something, but he fully just like ditches the doctor illusion. Like when I go to the doctor, I expect like professionalism, them to just like really pour information on me, give me too much information, use words that I don't understand, you know what I mean? Make me leave more confused than when I got into the room. And this guy was just fully relaxed. He's swearing and shit. He's like, yeah, so fucking, I don't know, what do they fucking want me to do? And I'm like, whoa, what is going on right now? Like, I know I wanted a cool doctor, but this is maybe a little bit too cool. Then he starts doing shit like, he's like reading the form that the doctor, that the hospital sent me. And he's like, look, do you want me to tell you the truth or do you want me to like tell you what they want me to tell you? And I was like, what is going on? You are terrifying me right now. And I go, I guess just like, tell me the truth. He's like, look, judging off what they've written here, they're probably not going to do surgery on you. They're probably just going to put you in their physio system for like 3 years, just get it working to where you had it working like by this time 2 weeks ago, and then you're going to injure it again a few months down the track. And I'm like, oh, that's a shame. I'm like, should I just go private then? And he's like, well, let me tell you about the private system. And I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, let me guess, you went and saw a private doctor. He said he's going to do like keyhole surgery. You'll be back up on your feet in a couple of days. You'll feel good as new. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. And he goes, yeah. So I'd hate to tell you, but you have like a pretty bad meniscus tear. And he's like, there's not really anything they can do. Like all he's going to do is go in there, like scrape out all the like shit that hurts, stitch it back as best possible as he can. And he's like, but if you like twist your knee badly again, that tear is just going to rip open again. He's like, you've got this for life until you like have a full knee reconstruction one day. And I'm like, sick. This is just all great information. It felt like I just had like a tradie at Smoko fixing my knee. Like he was just being so relaxed about the whole thing. Just felt like I was at fucking Dr. Rogan just filming a podcast, like a pharmaceutical podcast. Oh, God. But I don't know. I left so confused. I got home. I was telling Nikita. And I'm like, I don't know if I should feel good because this is everything that I wanted. I just wanted a cool young doctor just to give it to me straight, just be open to the like new, weird and wonderful things. And I don't know. I just left feeling lost and confused. I don't know. Like now I just think my knee's going to be fucked forever. But let's bail out of that with another turns out it can get worse clip. Which one is this? Motherfucking gentleman. What could this be about? I haven't watched these clips for a few days now, so let's hit play.
Motherfucker, gentlemen, suck my balls, suck my nuts, suck them all day. You'll be looking like you're saying it's okay. Cobras be striking, so solo strike if you can't.
Jesus Christ, just the most unhinged nursery rhyme of all time. Just sounds like Sesame Street on meth. Oh, just some Kiwi crackhead just dropping the summer anthem. My God. Shout out to that guy. Shout out to all my Kiwi brothers. We're starting to develop a good little listener base over there in the world of NZ. So shout out to you guys. All right, my awkward story of the week. Let's have a sip of this and then we'll rip right into it. So I had to go measure a job last week over at Moray Field, okay? North side of Brisbane, about an hour 15 or so from our workshop. And I just lately I've liked to get to site before all the other tradies get there, just so you don't have to make the awkward small talk. You don't have to they might have questions for you, like, what's going on in the kitchen here? And you just couldn't be fucked answering it. So I started trying to get to sites like a little bit earlier, around the 6:30 mark. Most tradies start on site around 7 o'clock or so. And so I leave, go to pull into the street. It's like bang on 6:30. And I'm like, this could not be any more perfect. And as I approach the house, I see a ute already there with the trailer. And of my quick assessment, I'm pretty good at assessing what trade it's going to be based on their ute style and ute setup. And I could tell pretty quickly this was one of the chippies. Now, I can have a decent conversation with a chippy. Chippies are probably my favourite tradies on site. They're always so chilled. They sort of they don't hit you with that annoying small talk. So they're bearable. So shout out to all the chippies listening. And so I pull up. And this guy is walking out of the house back to his ute to get some more tools out of his trailer or whatever, I can only assume. And, oh, God. This is the type of story where it might get me in some trouble. So I'm going to tiptoe around a few things. And I'm just going to think as I'm talking the best way to go about this. So he walks out to his ute, and I'm just sort of getting my iPad and my tape measure and shit out of the side of my ute. And I just hit him with a, hey, mate, how you going? He ignores me, keeps walking to his trailer, and I've gone, oh my God, is this guy going to change my opinion of chippies? And then he's walking back to the house around the same time that I'm walking back, and I hit him again. I go, hey mate, how you going? Just in case he didn't hear me the first time. And he's ignored me again. And we're both sort of proceeding to the house. And I don't know if he didn't notice me to start with or something. And he sort of looked to his right, to my direction. And I hit him again now that he's looking at me eye to eye. I go, hey, mate, how you going? What happened next was potentially one of the most awkward things that has happened to me all year. And I panicked straight away because this guy starts hitting me with sign language. And it becomes pretty obvious to me straight away that this guy's deaf. And he has not heard a word that I've said to him. So me thinking that he is one of the rudest people in history just goes down to him not understanding me. And we're left standing there staring at each other. We're just both buffering. Both our brains are buffering because we have no way of communicating. Just two grown men, just zero way of communicating, just vibing each other's feelings out. And we both just acknowledge that we don't have the facilities to be able to have a conversation because I haven't learnt any sign language since I was at high school, okay? And I do not remember any of it. So we just mutually agree, all right, let's just move on with our days and just assume that we're both being polite to each other. So shout out to that guy, just absolutely killing it out there. Just fuck, that must be hard, eh? That must be so hard to do that job deaf. So shout out to all my deaf listeners. Oh, God. As I said that, there's probably none of you. So, okay. That's probably the line that I knew was going to get me in trouble, and I fucking said it. So let's move on. What do we got up here? Oh, I've been in this weird TikTok rabbit hole this week. I have another sip to bail out of that. Oh, been in a weird TikTok rabbit hole of things that should be so obvious to you as a person, but you just wouldn't think about going to do it. Like one of the ones the other day, I was at work, and Adrian's fucking Apple Watch lit up and he had 20% battery, and it was early. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. And I've gone, oh, your watch has only got 20% battery. I go, how are you going to, like, doesn't that give you anxiety that how are you going to get through your whole workday with only 20% battery? And he goes, I've just got a second watch charger at work. I'll just charge it when it goes flat. And I've gone, oh my God. I forgot that that's even a possibility, that you could go and buy a second watch charger instead of just being riddled with anxiety every night going, oh God, have I put my watch on charge? Things like that. Like, just prime examples of things you can do to make your life easier and you just don't do them for whatever reason. But the one that popped up the other day that I was like, that actually blew my fucking mind. So you guys know those little tubs of Yogo that you can get, the way you tip the M&Ms and the like choc chips and things like that into the Yogo? Okay, the one that I saw, those are usually like $5 to $6 each. Absolute rort. And the TikTok goes, why don't you just go and buy a big bag of M&Ms and a big tub of Yogo, chocolate Yogo, and make your own? And he just pours them into the bowl. And I'm like, it's fucking insane. I wouldn't have even thought of ever doing that. And the big scam with Yogos at the moment is they don't give you the spoons anymore with those. They still have the little compartment for a spoon, but you got to supply your own spoon. It's an absolute rort. So we should all write letters to Yogo and just complain. But I don't know, little smart food hacks like that, they're just blowing my mind at the moment. So maybe I might start a new segment. Can't get any worse cooking. Could you imagine the waste of time if I set up a whole kitchen and that was my recipe? I don't know. Maybe I might do that. It's giving me an idea. I might actually do that. Fuck it. All right. I got another story from the gym. At this stage, it's my main source of content because I don't know what kind of gym I've signed up to, but there's always just fucking something happening there. This character I posted on my personal socials over the weekend got crazy views. So I don't know if people are just into this type of content or whatever. But yeah, probably the most views I've ever got on a story. So shout out to everyone that looked at that. But I think I've spoken about this guy on the podcast before, maybe not, but I've definitely spoken to a few people in my like personal life about him. And he's just this character that goes to the gym and doesn't really do gym-based activities, like what I would describe as a gym-based activity. He goes there and does weird shit. Like he goes there, he'll juggle. He's got these weird like Frisbee disc things that he'll put them on his arms. Like they're basically like a ring. A ring's probably a better description than a Frisbee. But he'll put like 6 of them on his arms and do like the whole loop-de-loop thing. And he just does like circus-based warm-up activities. And he's started doing this new thing probably in the last 3 to 4 weeks where he will just pull out a bundle of sticks out of his bag. We used to call a bundle of sticks something different back in my day. I will let you guys fill in the gaps. And he will just get out this bundle of sticks and he'll just start tapping his body, just like gently, just repetitively tapping. And it is so loud and annoying. He'll do this for like 40 minutes straight, just tapping different parts of his body. Until Saturday, this was the first time I've seen him tap this particular part of his body. But all of a sudden, he just starts tapping his dick with these sticks just over and over again, just for like 10 minutes straight. And I'm just like, brother, what are you doing? What muscle group are you training right now? What are you getting ready for? Just that pelvic percussion, just that penis percussion just ringing through the gym. It was fucking blowing my mind. But yeah, absolutely wild. So I don't know if you guys have got any crazy characters that just do dick taps in your gym, but I was not there for it. But on the back of that, I am slowly becoming a man again, okay? Slowly becoming a man. I've told you guys about my TRT therapy. I started it late last week, so it's kicking into my system. It's too early to report of any findings or anything like that. I have noticed a small increase in energy, which has been absolutely unreal. Other than that, no real fucking major differences. So I will keep you guys posted along the way. But what I have started to notice, I don't know if this is trying to boost my testosterone more or whatever, or just the fact that I've basically given up the dream of podcasting and comedy, which we'll touch on in my week in comedy. We will get there. But I've noticed myself over the last month or so starting to pick up more man-based activities again. And I've said this before. I've sold all my tools and shit like that. I hate any of that type stuff. And so like all the stuff in the front yard, I've been tackling that again, just hating every single second of it. And this weekend, this is probably my peak male performance in the last 4 years, okay? I would not even picture myself doing this. So I go to gym Saturday morning, and while I'm at gym, I go, you know what? I've sort of let the yards get neglected over the last few weeks while my knee's been fucked because I can't get out there and mow the lawn and stuff. And now I've sort of got my knee back to maybe 20 to 30% feeling okay. Like I can walk somewhat like a normal person again now. So I'm like, fuck it. I might as well just get the lawn mowed. It looks disgusting. I need to get it done sooner rather than later anyway. So I get home. I fire up the lawnmower, start getting into it. I'm like 5 minutes in, lawnmower cuts out. Trying to get it started again. Thing won't start. And I've gone, oh, fuck, that's right. Westy tried to help me out the week that I first fucked my knee and mowed the lawn. Same thing happened to him. And it was just a case of my knee was too fucked for me to care. We'll throw it in the shed and we'll deal with it next time. And now it was next time. So I've gone, oh, what am I going to do? Now, normally when this happens, I just do the fucking single child thing where I just go, Papa, Daddy, can you look at my lawnmower? And I'll just take it around to him. I'll go and pick it back up in like 2 to 3 business days after he's pulled it apart and got it back going again. And this time I was like, you know what? I've got nothing to do today. I've got no comedy to write. I've got no comedy gigs tonight. I've got nothing on the horizon. This is my life now, just doing the general jobs of a general man. So I'm like, I'm going to fix this fucking mower. And so I go to Bunnings. I get what I think I need, bring it home. Don't have the right tools. Go to mum and dad's, get some tools, come home, start replacing shit. I bought the wrong shit. Ended up doing like 3 or 4 Bunnings trips, like 2 trips to mum and dad's to get more tools. And 6,000 YouTube videos later, finally got the fucking mower going. And I've like, it was the biggest ego boost. Like when I pulled that cord and this thing started purring, better than it's ever purred before, better than when we rolled it off the showroom floor. I just looked through the kitchen window. Nikita was in there cooking some shit. And I was just like jumping up and down. It was like I just won the heavyweight title. And Nikita's just like looking at me, giving me this big grin. She just looks out the window and she goes, that was so hot. And I'm going, oh yeah, you know what? And like the crazy thing is I can do dumb shit like this. I could go and nail 2 pieces of timber together and Nikita will be like, that's the hottest thing I've ever seen. I'll go and perform in front of 200 people and crush and she'll be like, that was gay. That was so unattractive. And then I'll go fix the mower. She'll be like, wow, that was incredible. You're an amazing human. I just broke my fucking mic arm. So, yeah, crazy things. The only reason I can think she thinks that way is because 90% of my material is just shitting on her on stage. So that could be the reason. But, yeah, just call me the modern day mower mechanic over here because, my God, I'm just fixing things left, right and center. So if you've got a mower in the Logan area that needs fixing, holler at your boy. Let's play another Turns Out It Can Get Worse clip before we get into my week in comedy. Drag this guy over.
Hey, sweetheart. Just thinking about you. Taking a shower, obviously. I love you.
What the fuck? Did that just give anyone else like immediate jail vibes? Just a tattooed creep just showering and rubbing his body going, hey, sweetheart. Oh, God. Just sounded like a voice note from a fucking haunted house or something. But don't drop the soap, buddy. Holy shit, I just saw something move over to my right there. And I think, as I said, haunted house, I think a ghost literally just appeared in here. So I am actually a little bit scared right now. But before we rip into my week in comedy, let's have a little sip of Celsius. Oh, yeah. Go get yourself some, guys. Still haven't come on board as a full-time sponsor yet, but it's only a matter of time, you know what I mean? So I mentioned last week I had no gigs, and as it always does, a gig fell in my lap. So Wednesday arvo, I get a message from the room runner down at a Prey Surf down at Burleigh, and I've spoken about that room before. It's very hit and miss, okay? On the good nights, it's fucking sick, And on the bad nights, you want to just kill yourself. So this fucking mic is just sitting weird now, and I'm just going to try and fix it on the fly. All right, maybe that'll be a bit better. We'll see. So he goes, hey, I've had like 4 people bail on the gig tomorrow night. Any chance you're available and want to come fill in? And I was like, sure. I was actually going to message you for some spots anyway. And Thursday rolled around. I don't know like how or why. I was just not in the mood for comedy. I was just like, I don't want to fucking go to this gig. I know it's going to be a bad night. I don't want to do any of my old jokes. I'm fucking over them. And I just ended up cruising to the gig with absolutely zero plan. I got to the gig. I knew I was up first. They put the run list in the group chat before the gig. So I knew I was up first. So I had zero time to prepare. Ended up getting there, and there was actually a decent crowd there. So I'm like, fuck, should I just run the classics? And I just couldn't do it to myself. So I got up there, and I just ended up starting to ramble. I was just talking to people in the crowd. That was going nowhere, which like, I don't like the old me that would have really ate me up inside to just be on stage and like people not really interacting or like not a good flow happening. But I was just up there and I just could not give less of a fuck. Like there was a chick, she like had a little jab at me. I felt bad after this. Okay. I felt bad after this. She said something after something I said, and she had one of those, you know how like chicks wear those pimple patches now that are in the shape of like stars and love hearts and shit like that. She had one of them on her face, and I just started ripping at her for that. And I was like, as I was doing that, I'm like, I feel horrible. But she came at me first, okay? She threw the first punch. And then, I did a couple of my old bits, like 1 or 2. And then I ended up like finishing early and just saying to the MC, I'm like, is that my time? He's like, you got 40 seconds left. Stood up there for like 10 seconds. I'm like, what can I say for 40 seconds? And I was just like, oh, you know what? That'll fucking do me. You guys have been great. See you later. And I was just like, I don't know. Like I ran a couple of premises, so I guess that was good. It certainly like it wasn't the worst bomb, but it was weird just being on stage and having absolutely zero emotional feeling up there other than, God, I want this to be over so I can fucking go home. And it was just it's been a weird switch in my mind lately where this dream job has just now turned into like a shift, like literally clocking in and out, just going to do it and going, I should love this, but I just fucking really not feeling it at the moment. And sort of leads us into our next little thing. I just put this in my week in comedy just because I was like, it sort of fits in there perfectly. But there's this weird thing going on. I thought it was just me. I honestly thought I was the only one feeling this. But my tight group of friends in the comedy scene are literally feeling the same way as me. Whereas we don't know what it is, but there's just something in the scene at the moment where it's just the fun or something has just gone out of it. Like nobody seems to be really enjoying the gigs. Like everything is just so grindy and like there's all the clicks and shit like that I've spoken about before. And it's just like, I don't know. Also on top of that, I've now hit this stupid little internal phase where mainly over the last 6 months, but especially the last month, it has ramped up. I don't know if you guys have noticed, like not really showing my face on stories as much as I have been as like recently, not posting as much as I was at one point, just because I've hit that stage where I am now at where most people were at 4 years ago when I said, oh, I'm doing stand-up and podcasting, where I was in this delusional world where I thought I was going to make it. And now I'm in the world of people where they were like, who do you think you are? Why do you think you're anyone special? Why do you have this delusion in your head that you're going to make anything of this? And now that's the mindset that I'm in. I'm like, holy shit. Like I've stood back and I've gone, you're a retarded piece of shit for the last 4 years. Why are you doing this to yourself? Like, it blows my mind. Like I spend hours upon hours every single week just doing the podcast, putting content together, going and doing gigs, chopping the gigs up, posting them on Patreon, posting them into clips, doing all this shit, getting absolutely zero likes or fucking shares or anything like that from anyone in the local scene, comedy or podcasting. You know what I mean? And this isn't going to anyone that knows that they're my mates, okay? This is over your heads. And then there'll be other people in the scene that will just take a close-up photo of their face and just put a caption on there of something like, an ibis is a crazy bird, and then that'll get 1,000 likes from everyone in the scene. Everyone will be sharing it to their stories going, oh, this person is fucking hilarious. And it's like, the fuck is going on right now? What is going on in the world? But it's just that whole that clicky networky shit that I just cannot bring myself to. I cannot bring myself to sucking the dick of other people just to try and get ahead. Like, it's the same thing in the podcasting world, is the amount of dick sucking and things like that you see going around. And it's just like, God, I could be so much further if I could just drop to my knees and be like, oh my God, you're the funniest person in the world. But I can't fucking do it. And admittedly, when I first jotted this down on the run sheet, I was going to come on here and I was going to let rip. I was going to name and shame. I was going to fucking call out some people. And now it's just like, I just could not be fucked, okay? You guys know who I do and don't like in the podcasting and comedy world. I've said it on here before, so I don't know. It's just, I'm in this weird funk and I just don't know where to go with it. So not quitting or anything like that, but my God, am I dangerously close? Am I the most close that I have been in the last 4 years to just going, God, it would be easier just to fucking stop doing all this shit and just just live a fucking normal life. But I don't know what it is. I just have this weird thing in the back of my head where it's like, you've already spent 4 years doing it. You'd be even more retarded to stop now than the amount of retardedness you've been for the last 4 years. So I don't know. I just felt like I had to voice that because I think it's come across as well in the podcast is there's been weeks where I've been very fucking lackluster and low on here. And listening back to this episode, this could be another week of it. But just thought I'd let you guys know. On the back of that, as I said, I'm not giving up, but it's just made me, I don't know, part of this has made me want to escape the scene a little bit more. And not fully, like obviously I'll still do the odd gigs and shit like that, but just standing back and looking at like the paths that people like Frenchie, fucking Luke Kidgel, Blake Pavey, even people like Isaac Butterfield, they're just sort of doing their own thing. They're out there doing their own gigs. They'll pop up from time to time at other gigs, and it's like, fuck, I would give anything to be able to do that sort of shit. And they don't have to get involved with the local scene drama and you've got to keep this person happy and, oh, we're not going to give you spots unless you put us on your gig. And it's all just fucking schoolyard bullshit. You know what I mean? Everyone's a little fucking girl at the end of the day. So, it's made me definitely want to focus on the tour a little bit more. So I'll touch on the tour. Just so you guys don't think it's fizzling into nothingness again, because it is probably the only the light at the end of the tunnel is just trying to make this thing come to fruition. So I'm thinking, based off what venues are telling me, things like that, I'm thinking probably a July kickoff is more likely. That gives me another couple of months to work on budgeting, marketing, working on the show again, because to be honest, you guys thought I'd forgot the words the first time I ran the show. I would not have a clue how the show goes again. So it gives me another couple of months to dip my toe back into it, relearn it. I reckon July is probably a good goal. And towns that are pretty well like 90% locked in, they're locked in, we're just firming up the date, going back and forth, because obviously they've all got dates they would like to hit. I've got dates I'd like to hit because I'd like to tie in sort of 2 or 3 towns on the one run to save on petrol. So towns more or less locked in. Hopefully you guys live in some of these. We've got Coffs Harbour, Port Macquarie, Toowoomba, Gundawindi, St. George, Lismore. Rocky is 70 to 80% locked in, Rockhampton. Grafton is on the same boat, sort of 70 to 80%. And there's probably still, so don't stress if your town wasn't in there. There's probably still like another 20 to 25 that I'm just trying to find a venue in the town that will entertain the idea. But all those towns I just listed off, all those venues have come back to me and said, yeah, let's do it. Let's just work out dates. And a lot of them have been pretty well sweet with, we'll just give you the room, you charge your ticketing, we'll just make the bar. So yeah, all that sort of shit is pretty cool. So if those towns weren't listed, shoot me a DM this week, or I might even put a story up just saying, put in this fucking question box where you want the tour to go to. So we will see if I can bring myself to put my face in front of the camera. Let's, before I touch on what I've watched this week, let's play our last Turns Out It Worse clip. And it ties in perfectly. It's a callback from one of last week's videos. And this guy just explains exactly how I'm feeling inside.
Well, clearly nobody actually wants Bingus. So, no more Bingus. I can take a hint. Sorry to bother you. Keep thinking maybe this time somebody will actually care.
I hear you, brother. Just the most relatable influencer crash out ever. So nobody wanted Bingus. So Bingus is dead, everyone, unfortunately. But things I've consumed this week, there's only really been two. One of them absolutely blew my mind. My God, shout out to Justin Bieber, just absolutely taking over Coachella yesterday. My God. If you have not gone and seen the Justin Bieber Coachella performance, people are calling it Bieberchella. But it is very clear, as I was watching that Justin Bieber he's still him. He is our generation's fucking whoever you want to say. He is our generation's Michael Jackson, our generation's fucking Elvis. He is the pinnacle of an artist for whatever our generation is. And just to, he's basically pretty well been retired now for what, 3 years, 4 years or something, and just come out and absolutely headline Coachella and just blow the performance out of the water. I'm a full-blown believer again. But he also did this cool thing where he had all these collaborations and shit like that. But obviously Justin Bieber, he became famous when he was fucking 10 or 12 or some shit. So a lot of the songs that he was singing back then, before he hit puberty, he can't really hit those notes anymore. He did this sick thing where he sat down at a laptop and he played the old songs, but then he harmonized in his new voice. He was basically doing a duet with himself of young Justin Bieber and then old Justin Bieber doing a duet of all the songs together. It was the sickest fucking thing I've ever heard. So shout out to Justin Bieber, absolutely killing it. If you don't like Justin Bieber, fuck you. And some of you might go, why the fuck does a 34-year-old dude in his garage like Justin Bieber? And to that, I say fuck you as well. Last thing I'll touch on, we'll do a bit of a UFC 327 recap. So congrats to Carlos Ulberg, getting it done, first round KO, and he is now the light heavyweight champion of the world, just bringing another title back down to the Anzac region. And he did it. Nobody knows how the fuck he did it because he blew out his knee. And then he still ended up somehow just pushing through the pain, getting the knockout in the first round. And all I can say is between the two of us, there's one world title and two good knees. So shout out to Carlos Ulberg again. Josh Hokett, my God, we spoke about him in the UFC breakdown. Absolutely just taking the torch and running with it. We needed light in the heavyweight division. This guy is exactly what we needed. A couple of things leading up to it in the press conference and things like that. It was a little bit corny, a little bit gimmicky for me, and I just couldn't really buy in. But then to go in the octagon and put on one of the best heavyweight fights we have seen in years. I've been very vocal that the heavyweight division has been a shell of itself for at least the last 5 years or so. Just no one really standing out, and Josh Hokett has just gone, fuck it, I will be the new name of the heavyweight division. Goes in there, gets a win over Curtis Blades. And again, just one of the sickest heavyweight fights of all time. Was it the most technical and skilled? No, but both boys went in there and just absolutely banged it out. And then the next few things I'll touch on. This is a complete 180 to what I touched on the UFC breakdown as well. I should have just bit my tongue and seen what played out this week. I said Dana White, he went on a podcast or an interview or something and he's like, I'm basically out. I don't run the show. I don't do anything. UFC 327 was a glimmer of hope of Dana going, you know what? I've built the UFC to what it is today, and I cannot let it die like this. Give me the fucking reins. I'm taking back over. Because these three things happened, and it's like, it's back. The UFC is back. It is back to its pinnacle. The Josh Hokett fight happens. Josh Hokett wins. Dana White jumps on UFC Live straight away on Instagram. Straight away. I'm like, what is Dana doing on live during the fights? He doesn't usually do this. Now, one of the other corny things that happened, take all the politics, take all that shit out of it, but something about it just makes me cringe every time it happens. Donald Trump went to the fights, and they just do this big walkout for Donald Trump and things like that, and it's just, I'm not a fan of it. I don't really like it. But that happens. The Josh Hokett fight happens. So Dana White and Donald Trump are sitting cage side. Josh Hokett wins. Dana goes on live and he goes, oh, Donald Trump just leant over to me and he goes, why isn't Derek Lewis on the White House card? And Dana goes, I'm not sure why Derek Lewis isn't on the White House card. Do you want me to ask? So then, in real time, after this heavyweight fight just happened, you guys know Derek Lewis is one of the most entertaining heavyweight fighters in the division as well. Now Josh Hokett's coming up. In the matter of minutes, Dana calls Derek Lewis, goes, do you want to fight at the White House card? He goes, fucking oath. Dana goes out the back, asks Josh Hokett, hey, I know you just got out of the octagon. Do you want to fight Derek Lewis in a few months at the White House? Josh Hokett, this is what he's fucking built for. All those promos, all that American-style gimmick, fucking put him on there. So now, in the matter of minutes of him leaving the octagon, he is now on the White House card as well, which has made that even, I don't know. It's not one of the huge fights we were expecting, but it is something. They gave us something that could be pretty cool on the White House card. On the back of that, they also did the first White House promo video. And I will admit, I came on here, I shat on the UFC White House card. I go, nah, I'm not keen. Yes, the fights are pretty cool, but it is not what we were sold. The UFC dropped this UFC White House promo, and it is vintage UFC promo style. It is just the fighters, slow-mo, walking to the octagon, fucking all the bells and whistles. There is helicopters landing. They're zooming around the White House. Oh, my God. It was everything that made me fall in love with the UFC back in the day. We were back to like that Conor McGregor promo style thing. And it was like, okay, you got me. I'm in. Let's go UFC White House. And then it doesn't fucking stop there. They go, oh, we've got another announcement to make live on the broadcast. What could it be? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the fact that there has been an Olympic wrestler that has taken his hand at MMA in Gable Stevenson. Everyone has been like, this is going to be the next heavyweight champion. He has been on the local circuit, just knocking people out, making them submit. And who's his coach? Oh, I don't know. None other than John Jones, the greatest to ever do it. He is now coaching this young lion that is seen as the next UFC heavyweight champion. He is training him. And it pans to John Jones and Gable Stevenson. Is it Stevenson or Stevens? Gable Stevens. I don't know. I fucking forget. They're both sitting cage side and they go, we've signed him. His first fight is at International Fight Week in July, I think it is. And it's like, Jesus Christ. UFC is absolutely hitting it out of the park this week. And I can only imagine it's the big dog, Mr. fucking Dana, going, you know what? He Wolf of Wall Street that shit. He just started beating his chest going, I'm not fucking leaving. And he has graced us with just an unreal Sunday of fights. So shout out to Dana. Shout out to the UFC. I am absolutely fucking stoked with hopefully we are turning a corner and we're just going to see some sick shit. And the fact that we saw John Jones with the back and forth that he's been having on socials with the UFC, the fact that we saw him in a UFC arena during a pay-per-view, I don't know. It's good signs to me. Could we see Gable Stevenson is fighting at International Fight Week? Could the headliner for that fight card be John Jones? No. It would make too much sense. It would be the perfect storybook. James, shut up with your conspiracy theories, okay? We're not going to buy into it. I don't know. I'm just saying. Makes sense to me on paper. Last thing I'll finish on this week, going to see MGK this Thursday night. And the reason I'm going to see him is because his opener is my favorite artist potentially of all time. Honest Dave is opening for him. And I am putting together a reel later today. I think I'm posting it this afternoon. I want to fucking meet this bloke. I wasn't going to do it while he was in Australia. All that shit, I find it corny and lame, but I'm going to absolutely kick myself if I don't at least try. So it's just going to be some sort of casual thing. Just hopefully fucking meeting him at the show. Fingers crossed he wants to do a podcast. That'd be fucking unreal. But anyone, as I said, I get absolutely zero traction on social media, which is a big reason why I've just started going, why am I doing this shit? If you're listening to this, even if you love me, if you hate me, if you fucking think my content sucks, if you could give this a like, if you could comment in there, tag him, if you could share it to your stories and tag him, anything would be fucking greatly appreciated. Please and thank you, and I appreciate you all. Other than that, guys, that's brought us to the end of the episode. Nothing to plug again this week. I've got no fucking gigs. I need to get off my ass and start booking some shit in. But in saying that, I will be working on locking in the tour, firming things up, locking in a few more towns. So again, if your towns weren't listed earlier in the episode, shoot me a DM. We'll get them on the list. But other than that, if you want to get in touch with the show, shoot me a DM on Instagram at Can't Get Any Worse Podcast, or shoot me an email at can'tgetanywOrsePod@gmail.com. I appreciate you all. Hope you all have a ripper week, and I will see you later.
Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement.